it's Shubha. Welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe we're already here to talk about the books that I plan on reading in November. I feel like October went by so fast. I don't know if you feel this way, but I always feel like the second half of the year goes by so much faster than the first half of the year. Before we know it, it's going to be 2025. But let's not get carried away. Today we're going to talk about the 6 books that I plan on reading from Kindle Unlimited in the month of November. The reason why I'm only going to do 6 books is because I want room for mood reading, room for me to read any arcs that I've been gifted, room for me to read any of my physical books that I own that I haven't read yet. So today I thought we could make it a little bit more interactive, and I'm going to screen record my laptop while we go through Kindle Unlimited and choose a few books. Grab your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage of choice and let's get browsing. So this is the home page for Kindle Unlimited, and as I'm scrolling down, I already see 2 books that I want to read. The first one being The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I do already have this on my Oasis. My sister wanted to read it and we share an account, so I have access to it already. I'm probably going to listen to it via audiobook though. I love listening to her stories as an audiobook format. I think that they're so easy to listen to. They're gripping. I feel like they're fast paced when you listen to them, and it's just easy to go in and out while listening but still understand the big picture of the story. This is a psychological thriller. It says she's looking for the perfect man. He's looking for the perfect victim. Our main character, her name is Sydney Shaw, and like every other single woman in New York, she's trying to date and find the perfect man. She ends up meeting this guy and he seems too good to be true, almost perfect. While she's going on dates and dating this man, there's also a series of murders that occur, and the victims are all women. The cop is trying to find the suspect, and turns out Sydney's perfect man may not be so perfect, and I think that she is going to be his next victim. We'll see, unsure. Frida McFadden always does a really good job with having an unreliable narrator and then having these plot twists where you don't see coming by the end of it. So maybe this perfect man is just really your average, well, above average perfect man, and he's not really the suspect. The second book that I already see on here that I do want to read is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. This is new and has been hitting Book Talk and Booktube and Bookstagram, all of the books, for some time now. I've heard about this book for about 2 months now. The owner at Monstera's Books, she actually read it and she said that it's coming out soon and I need to read it ASAP if I like Greek mythology, and I do. This seems very unique and fun. It says the gods love to play with us mere mortals, and every hundreds of years we let them. I have never been favored by the gods, far from it, thanks to Zeus. Living as a cursed office clerk for the Order of Thieves, I just keep my head down and hope the capricious beings who rule from Olympus won't notice me. Not an easy feat, given San Francisco is Zeus's patron city, but I can make do. I can survive until the night I tangle with a different god. The worst god, Hades. For the first time ever, the ruthless mercurial king of the underworld has entered the crucible, the deadly contest the gods hold to determine a new ruler to sit on the throne of Olympus. But instead of fighting her own battles, the gods name mortals to compete in their stead. So I think Hades is going to choose our main character to compete on his behalf. But then on here it also says, why in the underworld did Hades choose me? And also, why does my heart trip every time he sees I'm his? So I think there's going to be some romance involved as well. This just sounds really fun. I love a story that has trials and competitions. I love that this is more Greek mythology based. This is just going to be an all-around fun one. I think so. We'll see. Let's keep going and look through. Never read some of these books before. Let's click see more and see what more we can find. Well, that's really not helpful at all. Of course this happens. Okay, let's just do thriller and suspense. How about that? all of these just look unappealing. I don't know why. I don't want to read any of these books. Let's just scroll down a bit. Okay. More Like the Boyfriend, a psychological thriller. I think I can pick one more thriller book. I don't want to read another Frida McFadden. I do want to read Middle of the Night, but it's not Kindle Unlimited. I've read one Ruth Ware book. That was a long time ago. Ooh, okay. This book, Anathema by Carrie Lake. This is the first book in the Eating Woods duology. I was recommended this book by Heather McClary. I really like her videos, and I also love her recommendations. I think that she shares some really good books to read. It says, from the author of Nocticadia comes a spellbinding gothic dark fantasy about a shunned woman who is forced beyond the mortal realms, forbidden's boundary, into a terrifying world of cursed souls and grotesque creatures. Only the banished know what lies beyond the woods. There are whispers about what lurks in Witchnell, the forest where sinners go to die. The villagers call it the Eating Woods because what's taken is never given back. Only those who have lost their senses would dare to go near it, or the banished. So it already sounds a little bit like The Village by M. Night Shyamalan, if you've seen that movie. It's really old. I remember watching it, and I feel like it's giving those vibes. Our main character, her name is Mavith Bronwick, knows better than to breach the misty labyrinth of trees, but a tragic turn of events compels her beyond the archway of bones to a boundary no mortal has crossed before, one that cloaks a dark and fantastical world that's as dangerous as it's alluring. There is a curse involved, there's this arcane prophecy, there is maybe some love. I don't know. I'm not going to read any bit more. The synopsis is a little bit long, and I like to go in blind. I am hoping that I will like this book because I do want to read another book by Carrie Lake, and it is Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This is a standalone, dark, atmospheric tale of deadly secrets and forbidden love. So this is a story about our main character. Her mom dies, and we don't really know why. It was some mysterious illness. So now our main character is on the hunt to figure out what actually killed her mom. Then we flash forward to 4 years later. She gets accepted to Dracadia University. It is one of the oldest and most prestigious schools in the country. Nestled on a secluded island off of the coast of Maine, it's rumored to be haunted by souls of mental patients exiled there centuries before. That is icky spooky. That's giving like Shutter Island vibes. Yeah. Anyway, so she ends up meeting Deverick Bramwell, who is the campus Dr. Death, and he's a pathologist in charge of the Midnight Lab. I think what's going to happen is that he's going to have to work with her to figure out what this illness is, what caused this illness, and what is this parasite that's kind of rotting everyone's past, present, and future. It just sounds really eerie and atmospheric and dark and gloomy and perfect to keep going into November. I'm still feeling the spooky vibes and the mood. I need to find another word and stop saying vibes because I sound like a child. Anyway, let's carry on. We'll go back to Kindle Unlimited. How many books was that? Was that 4 books? We had Abigail Owen's book. We had Frida McFadden's book, Nocticadia, Anathema. Okay, so let's pick 2 more books. Should we still look in the thriller section? How about that? Let's just go back to mystery, thriller, and suspense. Okay, yeah, we were scrolling through The Boyfriend, weren't we? Maybe not. I can't remember. I can't keep up. Maybe we were. Ooh, I've heard about The Ritual, a dark college romance. I'm not really feeling a college romance, so I'm already choosing a dark academia book, so I don't necessarily think I need one. Oh, wow. Okay. I saw The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I didn't realize that it is not Kindle Unlimited, but I did find a Kindle Unlimited book I do want to read, and it is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulek. My friend Logan read this book, and she really liked it. She said that it was very twisty, and Stephen King loved it too. It says that it's a supernatural thriller for fans of Stranger Things and Riley Sager about a woman working as a nanny for a young boy with strange and disturbing secrets. I love Stranger Things. I can't wait for the final season. I've heard it's the best season yet. And each season just keeps getting better and better. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about the book. We have Mallory, who is babysitting Ted and Caroline Maxwell, and she gets really close to the 5-year-old who is Teddy. Ted loves to sketch and do art, so he has a sketchbook that he fills with drawings, and it's really sweet and all good and fun until he draws something different. He draws a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. What? Creepy. Then Ted's artwork becomes increasingly sinister, and his stick figures quickly evolve into lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of a 5-year-old. Mallory begins to wonder if these glimpses of a long unsolved murder, perhaps relayed by supernatural force. I love anything that is supernatural. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts and spirits. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't really know. But I just think that they make really fun and creepy movies and books. So that's why I'm really excited to read this book. I also was told that the book actually has artwork and sketches of what Teddy is drawing. So that's going to add to the eeriness and the spookiness. I hope that I really like this book, and I like The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. I recently read The Girls in the Garden in August by Lisa Jewell, and I did not like that at all. I actually really didn't like that. And I also read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, and I didn't find that as fun either. So I'm hoping that these books will get me out of my thriller slump and lift my psychological thriller spirits. Yeah. Okay, one more book. Let's find one more book. So we have 2 thrillers, 1 dark academia, 1 dark gothic fantasy. I don't really want a romance at the moment at all. So let's see if we can find maybe a fantasy, maybe a romantasy, so that there is some romance in the fantasy. Also, my laptop is spazzing out. I don't know what's happening. Okay, we're getting a lot of just thrillers, so, let me just clear all, and let's start fresh. Okay. Oh, perfect. There's a book that I do want to read in this section. It is Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. The reason why I was really intrigued to read this story, I was at Target a few months ago, and I saw that her books, that there's 4 of them, were on one of the aisles, and she is an Indian author. I love that there's an Indian author who is writing fantasy novels. So I had to pick it up, and I didn't though, because I realized it was on Kindle Unlimited, which is why now we're here. And I know that I had said we were going to pick books together, which technically we are. We're looking through other books, but I did have some books in mind that I already wanted to read. I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I'm going to read what I want to read. We're in this together. Anyway, this says it's a Court of Thorns and Roses meets Fourth Wing in this pulse-pounding enemies to lovers fantasy romance with fae magic, high-stakes trials, and a dark prince from Book Talk's favorite author, Nisha J. Tooley. Love that she is a Book Talk favorite author. I am not allowed to have TikTok. I am banned. I banned myself. I'm not actually banned. I just doom scroll too much, so I'm not allowed. Okay, so this says, 10 women, a deadly contest. Only one can win the Sun King's heart. I already love that this is going to be a story centering around a woman. Laura has endured 12 long years of torment under Aurora King's rule. Her only desire is to escape and pay him back for every moment of misery endured. So this kind of already is reminding me of Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. When a surprise release finds her in the hands of the rival Sun King, Laura is thrust into a spotlight as she competes against 9 other tributes for the role of queen. If she wins his heart, she'll earn her freedom and finally get her revenge. But Laura doesn't belong in the Sun Queen trials. Not only does she not understand why she's freed, she isn't a citizen of the Sun King's court. The other tributes resent her presence and will stop at nothing to ensure Laura is removed from the competition. We have a competition-centered story with trials and magic and fae. I love it. I love to see it. My only worry here is that we're taking different types of stories and bringing it into one, and I don't want it to feel like it's a copy of another book. I felt this way with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I just felt that she wasn't really unique to her story, and she just basically, I felt like she copied Hunger Games, and it just made me feel weird. I didn't like it. I hope that I don't feel this way when I read Trial of the Sun Queen, and I hope I love it because I want to continue with the series. Those are the 6 Kindle Unlimited books that I plan on reading in November. I probably will read more books. I'm just going to keep those for mood reading opportunities and books that I just happen to get to if I get to. But let's do a quick recap of the books I plan on reading. We have Nocticadia by Carrie Lake, Anathema by Carrie Lake, The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley, Hidden Pictures by Jason Rakulik, and then The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. Those are the 6 books. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun. I will see you in another video. Bye!